Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to be starting the last part of the post ARR A Realm Reborn playthrough of MSQ. I'm just gonna jump right into it because I want to blast through this. Have a moment quietly. I believe Yaida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favor if you would lend a sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moonbright's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Hey, it's quietly. Great. Does not look downcast. Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but... Oh shit, this is not as upbeat. Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but... it's just hard, you know? The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this, which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order for a moon daisy with Rowena a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. The trouble is, I find Rowena a bit difficult at the best of times, and, well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment, so I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you, and the daisy at Wrathfrost. And we're back to doing errands. Gotta love it. What's this? Oh, that's not bad. I can't wear it on this class. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Good evening. Well, what can I do for you today, adventurer? Eldrick trinket to trade. Huh? They've got you running errands now. Them scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior of Eorzea to a bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you'd best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyways, what was it that you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here then, take it, and tell that Yaida lass that I've got a wide selection of headwear to stock if she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers. God knows she needs to. Pretty tree. Rowena can be so annoying. She just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her I like it just fine the way it is, she says it's it again and again and then again and then again. It drives me crazy. Ugh. What I mean to say is, I really appreciate you doing this for me, so anyways, let's see it. Moonbrita loved these, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Wow. That's not good.
Is
I
that
would-
what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me? We have
Yep.
received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
Yes, sir. I forgot how fast-paced this next act is. We're probably actually gonna blast through it. Also, I'd like to point out that I am 84 on my part and still in ARR. So my apologies for the interruption. I am deeply saddened to hear of Moonbrida's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us little time to mourn. The envoy from Korthus will arrive soon, and we must hasten to hear her report. Defenders of Ishgard. The envoy is here. Lucia? It is Lucia. I thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the unusual pleasantries, if I may. The usual pleasantries. Certainly, you come with news of the Dravonians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the Central Highlands in a short while ago. The battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Emmerich himself sallied forth with the contingent of Temple Knights and several companies of noble houses' finest. Thus the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat. Our victory, if such it can be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We would not withstand a second wave should the Dravonians renew their assault. You painted a grim picture, my lady. It is reinforcements you seek, then. We do. Though it pricks our pride, it is plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. Sir Emmerich would meet with you to discuss the possibilities of enlisting your aid. Very well. I shall depart for Korthus at once. I must warn you, however, that the involvement of the Crystal Braves is by no means assured. Our commitment to quell the unrest in Ul'dah must take precedence. It is with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are known to have shared close ties with all three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plea our case to their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favorable reply. I need say no more. Considering our past dealings with the Eorzean Alliance, I can well imagine how our plea will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must explore every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. I see. Very well. I shall send envoys to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the head of the grand companies. In the event that our plea does receive a favorable answer, know that any support is certain to be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I speak with Emmerich's authority in this matter, and that our actions are fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. The Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellows' involvement. You faced Midgard's summer and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. I thank you. You wear the mantle of a hero well. 'Twould seem the road led us both to Camp Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive quietly.
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken.
Oh, did she break the steel?
Brothers
Interesting.
and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
Awkward. Right. It seems I was the swifter quietly. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host has yet to make an appearance. The murmurings about camp tell of some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Commander's absence, I suggest we visit the place and find out what is afoot. The gates of judgment are much more than mere doors. They are the outer layers of Ishgard's magical ward. If our first line of defense can be so easily shattered. We need not fret over much. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shield the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. Heretic scum! How dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. 'Twould seem the heretics struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Scions, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We chanced to hear that there had been trouble at the gates, and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned that the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her fellows against our defenders, and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. But let us speak more of it back at the camp. Sir Emmerich awaits you. Lady Iceheart has grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid, and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Hotchifont will know where Sir Emmerich means to receive us. Oh, Hotchifont! 'Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of a friend who, when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster, though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence strokes the flames of courage within my heart. Ah, but you did not come to Dragon's Head to listen to my prattling. The Lord Commander has arrived, and would treat with you in the intersensory. Anyway. Greetings, madame. Shall I show you inside? Yes, please. Look at him sitting there calmly. I thank you for coming with such haste and apologize for my absence. Suffice it to say, Lady Iceheart and her heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are but recently returned from the gates of judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphanode, I think it is more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's wall the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Estinian. Estinian! Well, I should have done Dragoon for this. Shoot. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of Dragoons. They are formidable warriors all, yet even among such masters of lance, Estinian is without equal. He, out of all the warriors of Ishgard, has chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravonian. You flatter me much, Lord Commander. If ever I was without equal, I am no longer. As my fellow Azure Dragoon here will attest, be at ease quietly. I did not come to challenge you this day. Oh, so it knows that I have a Dragoon leveled. Well, now that we all have we have all been introduced, let us proceed to the matter at hand. I would share with you what we have learned of Iceheart's design, as confessed by the heretics taken captivity after the assault on the gates. 'Twould seem that Lady Iceheart and the Dravonians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Haldrath, the beast is said to have terrorized Korthus since Ishgard's founding. Aye, many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhogg's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Haldrath plucked from the bested worm's skull, known simply as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for 1,000 years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depth of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It is kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But though stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics, the dragons are another matter. There are individuals within the Dravonian horde whom an entire company of knights would labor to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength, though the endless march of years the dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You may understand these creatures do not share our perception of time, and that is especially true for the great worms. They who spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaign as if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our sky. 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defenses. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gate. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that, we cannot be certain. Though we know the heretics covet the eye, we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such question aside, we must needs address the raging hole their mistress has seen fit to rend in Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravonians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander, yet I cannot help but wonder at your candor. Why share such sensitive information with us? I speak plain. Ishgard has need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangement concerning the Keeper of the Lake, however, only you stand to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravonia. When the Eorzean Alliance requested Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused us. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that we now risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I only ask that you consider what would follow were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our city to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravonia. Soon thereafter, the ruins of Korthus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beasts and beastmen. Unlike the Garlean's arrival, that is, until the Garlean's arrival, that is, for you may be certain that the Empire would not hesitate to claim Korthus. They would not even have to draw steel. An Imperial province sharing the border with Mordana. 7 hells. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of a great worm may have shaken the firmaments, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Ishgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar, allow me, Sir Emmerich. Through the power of the eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not. I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you. The eye itself is no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wheresoever I go. The lingering influence does, however, allow me to bear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg. Aye, he means to hurl his horde against Danafin's collar and shatter the remaining wards that protect the city. There can be no doubt. The worm has summoned his minions to war. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavor will at least prove us an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in common cause. Sir Emmerich was more ruthless in his negotiations than I anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But Did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? Though the Lord Commander has long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders, I suspect this softening of the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes as something of bittersweet victory. The days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. If we are to aid the Ishgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made, and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the antecedent.
Alphino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alphino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Then you agree that we have no choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and the Crystal Braves must join the defense of Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be directly intervening in the war. But if all here believe the cause to be just, then to war we shall go. The path we now embark upon is perilous, but I pray you will walk with us to the end.
I don't have much choice.
For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to pledge Grand Company soldiers to Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. The small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support I leave to Alphinaud. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider the matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is a short flight from the snowfields of Corthus, and it is not unimaginable that the fight may spill over the borders. Pray brief Southbourne on the brewing conflict and discuss potential contingencies. The frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, might I suggest that you speak to might I suggest that you have Totruk accompany you? She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of practical challenges we may encounter. Totaru! Yes, ma'am. We are rather close to Corthus, aren't we? We'd best see to our own defenses and take stock of our supplies. Oh, and we'll also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go quietly. I have 101 things to discuss with Slaffborn. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Corthus, then the troll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for the infirmary as well as temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well by us in the past, and I would return the favor. But as for rounding up volunteers for the fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on Ishgard's soil, and I'm certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is of course free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here at Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who will answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I've survived this long by trusting my instinct, and my instincts tell me to stay well away from Ishgard. Huh? Gotta respect that. Ishgard sounds like she is in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to ye about. I need ye to cast ye mind back to the scuffle with the Empire out by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilfred was there with the Fourth that day, and I want to know if ye've seen him since, have ye? God damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. Around the time Wilfred stopped turning up for duty, them black market weapons went missing from our vault in Ul'dah. Now then, Of course, half the braves suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folks like that like to believe our company is a disciplined fighting force, but as ye and me both know, it's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing as binding us together is some value oath about fighting for the freedom of all, and that and the steady pay. Now, compared to most others in this crew, Wilfred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp amongst wolves. But the boy's got passion. When he's talking about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't the type. And this is just between you and me, mind. There's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he'd noticed in the ledgers, something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. Aye, there's a villain at the end of this at the end of this trail I've stumbled upon, and I'll bet me good eye it ain't young Wilred. Any roads, I've got a war to wage, so I'll let she get on. I just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you quietly. Dun dun dun. Right. So Ishgard seeks sellswords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure I like the sound of this siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. But I have pledged myself to guard Revenant's toll. Modest work though it is, I am loath to break the terms of my contract. What to do, what to do. Well, that's fair enough. It up? Good afternoon. Can I tell you about our Lord and Savior Midgard Stormar? Sell my blade to the Ishgardians. Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'd slay my fair share if the coin was good. I've worked on for one of them nights before, you know. Watched me like a hawk, bloody hawk he did. Still, I'd put up with worse than that for a heavy purse. Blue. If I jump off of this, it should be fine, right? Ow. Volunteer my services to defend Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. 'Twas to escape such a fate that I took up the mantle of adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in pursuit of fortune than huddled behind an icy wall. Really? God, there's like what, one person that was willing to volunteer? Wild. There you are quietly. So, did you sway any hearts? Nope. One or two, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Slafborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but I'd say one Revenant's Toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Oh, I've been caught up with recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alphanod. Apparently, the Alliance leaders are convening in Ul'dah to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they've requested your presence, as usual. Anyways, you'd best make your way to Ul'dah, or you'll be late. Alphanod said that he would meet you at the Royal Promenade. I don't remember. My apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent request for the alliances, for the audience has prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obligated to attend. The alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we?
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Okay.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Braves' intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alfino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords? Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Once again, I owe you an apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of immensible danger. But I fear we have left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Hodgefont and Sir Emmerich to their fate. We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as Eorzea's guardians. Captain Ilbrid, what news? The assault has begun. Oh, we have, but this moment move our forces into position. Your unit will use House Durandare as the steel vigil. Yes, the cannons alongside the knights, and thin the Dravonian hordes ere they descend upon Ishgard. I will join you as soon as I am able. Quietly, I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defenses at the Steps of Faith. Report first to Sir Mercelane at the Gates of Judgment, and he will direct you to where you are needed most. May the gods grant us victory. Into the fray we go. Oops. You are the appointed captain of the Sellsword contingent. Then welcome. There is no shortage of blade work to be done. As we speak, Dravanian skirmish parties have harried positions across the Central Highlands. I've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks, and for the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, merely a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The Willy Serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, but we will not be so easily drawn out of position. The Temple Knights will remain on the Steps of Faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, we shall face the wall of Ishgardian. They will face a wall of Ishgardian steel. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishes are slain. I go through this gate? No. That's awkward. We're not supposed to be on that side. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements? Decimated, you say. Dravanian devils. Damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, my lady, who will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know that it is what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the steps of faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the Sea of Clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for the arcane wards that form the barrier we call Daffin's Collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, that thrice-damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection, and thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. Should the Dravonians succeed in destroying the remainder of the wards, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to these parts of the bridge, wherein the wards are sealed. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. We would ask you and your comrades to accompany our defenders at the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? Tancred! The Scions of the Seventh Dawn! We could not well stand idly by while the hordes threaten the good people of Ishgard. Indeed, to do otherwise would go against all that Master Louisoix has taught us. As for the where we may be of most assistance, I think it prudent we divide into 2 groups. Yaida and I will join the rear guard. Right, if the dragons should reach us, we'll be sure to give them what for. Thank you, all of you. Pray speak with me again when your preparations are complete, and together we shall stand against the horde. I trust you're ready then. Come. Good. Come, let us make for the battlefield. That's a big-ass dragon! Holy shit! A big one. All right. Accept the fury into your heart and defend the bridge with all you have.
Let's finish this quickly, shall we?
I shall make it quick.
Ouch. your attacks on the armored. We'll need more than thick hides to prevail over us. It's awkward. Everyone fall back now.
Ether, to me.
The first ward has been breached. That's not good. Pull back and regroup. The battle is not lost yet.
No holding back.
Pabalimo. Fuck. The second ward has fallen. How many were there? 4? Oh. Nice. The dragons, they're withdrawing. Victory is ours. One of Nidhard's greatest champions slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and make this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of that stench of your lair? Mayhaps you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of the great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will sate my lance. Quietly, the dragons are routed. Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my Crystal Braves were not found wanting. Commander Levier, quietly. True to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all of the dragons have fled, and there are yet wounded to be cared from the field. Pray, let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks for with the proper courtesy. We have indeed achieved the victory in singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhaps equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred at their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaimed itself a member of the Yorzian Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggle against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by a faltering step, we march ever nearer to our goals. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us to the day in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well. You have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievements. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilbert back to Ul'dah and reassign the braves whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. We will see to informing the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfilia. Quietly, welcome back. Alpha Note sent word of the siege and, of course, of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me. Quietly. Thank you. Nice. We're gonna end this part here for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. We are, let's see. We're about halfway through 2.55 before the full part 2. Although I have played through this before and I know that there's a really, really long section somewhere that's to come that's really dense. It's like one quest, but it's like a series of cutscenes that's like an hour. So yeah, that's to come. That's gonna be interesting. So yeah, look forward to that, and we'll see you next time. Bye.